We welcome in head coach Josh McDaniels. So, coach, this week, Jarrett Stidham, you named him the starter. Derek's inactive. Tell us what went through those thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, those are obviously difficult decisions. And I sat with all three quarterbacks this week, and you know, we're none of us is happy with where we're at this point. You know, we've lost some close games, and so we just, you know, at this point in time, it's an opportunity for us to evaluate a younger player who really hasn't played much. Derek was very understanding of that, and he supported those two guys wholeheartedly, you know, the entire year, helping them as a veteran guy. And we just, you know, think this is an opportunity that, you know, to give us some information here as we head into the off season. And we know we have a lot of evaluation to be done here once the season ends, but he just took the opportunity to do it this week.
How did the captains and the team react to that decision, especially so far with practice, film study, and all that?
Yeah. Really good practice yesterday, great energy. I think we have a very mature, high-character group. And we've been honest and upfront with them all the time. You know what I mean? Like, there are tough decisions that we've had to make. There are players that are no longer on the team that Dave and I have talked about, you know, throughout the entire, you know, entirety of our tenure here so far. And those relationships, that's what happens every year in the National Football League. So, again, there's no finality here to this. We just thought that this was an opportunity that we would take to evaluate Jarrett and Chase.
So tell us about your history with Jarrett, the playbook, his prep, and how he's ready for this task.
Yeah, he's a young player that's got a lot of experience in the system, which kind of, if that makes any sense. Practiced a lot, obviously, doing it. Terminology, understanding of the foundation, all that stuff. I have no concern about that at all. What Jarrett lacks is just play time. You know what I mean? And he sat behind Tom, obviously, his first year, and then has dealt with some injuries. So, you know, he'll be ready to go. He prepares hard every week like he's going to play. He's prepared like that for years now. You know, and he's had an opportunity to sit behind Derek and watch Derek prepare. So I think his preparation won't be a concern of ours at all. Just excited to get him out there and hopefully get him off to a good start in the game and let him go.
Two of your best players on defense went on IR. I want to talk about Chandler's season and Denzel, the type of leaders they are in the organization, your expectations with them around the building to help the younger players step up.
Yeah, they were both great. You know, I mean, it's unfortunate that they had those injuries occur because I think both of them were really playing well at the time. But, you know, Denzel was at practice yesterday. Chandler's been here in all the meetings. So their presence is still here. Their leadership and the ability to be a captain, they don't take that lightly. Denzel's, you know, has been a captain all year for us. And those two will continue to do the things that they've done off the field for the last, you know, few weeks of the season here and beyond. But, you know, tough breaks for the defense. Looking forward to the guys that are going to get an opportunity to step in.
Let's start with Kyle Shanahan. Give us a story back with him, how long you've known him.
Yeah.
His general scheme is not only a play caller, but a head coach.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. We've got to know each other a little bit over the years. Certainly competed against each other in some big games, and I have a great deal of respect for him. He's a creative guy. He's really, really good with the quarterback. Does a lot of things that challenge you schematically, gets his players to really execute at a high level. They play fast, they're physical, they're aggressive. They do a lot of the right things to win the game. And you can see that in his football team. This is as good of a football team in all three phases that we've played all season. And it's not even, I mean, that's a fact. So special teams, defense, offense, they're really good in every phase. Big challenge. They got good players. John's done a tremendous job of picking players that match to Kyle's system, and D'Amico's done an incredible job on defense. So this will be a big challenge for us.
Let's get into Brock Purdy. I know that you look at film in college, and to see him come out, what did you initially see, and how is he handling the system so well?
Yeah, he's doing a good job. Yeah. He's a mature young guy. He was coming out, played a lot of football, and he has a presence about him, you know, and you can tell that he's really grasped their offensive system, what to do. His eyes are almost always in the right place, which for a young quarterback, that's a great starting point. You know, you're not looking at, you know, the wrong side when you should be over here. And so it allows him to get the ball to the playmakers that he needs to get it to. And so he's run their system very effectively the last month. moves in the pocket well, has got some athletic ability, has made a lot of good throws in critical situations, and seemingly has a very good grasp at what they're asking him to do. So really playing well for a young player.
Now, I'll ask you this about Kelsey next week, but with Kittle, it's the same thing. The physicality at the line of scrimmage and what he does after the catch.
Yeah.
He's having a big season. How do you try to contain him a bit?
Yeah, you got to try to get him early, and you can't give him a bunch of space. If he gets into space, this guy is it's like Earl Campbell running with the ball. I mean, he's physical, he's aggressive, he's big, he's strong, he's very difficult to tackle. And so a guy like him with the speed, the hands, the ability to win in the passing game, you just can't give him too much space. So we're going to have to do a good job of playing with proper leverage, using our help, and denying him those big opportunities to have the ball in space where it's really difficult to get him to the ground.
Now, you have a great back. I just want to talk about McCaffrey for a second. I know how much you value the screen game and what he can do in the passing game.
Yep.
What has he been doing since he came over? He learned that playbook pretty quickly, and he's been an impact player.
Yeah, this guy is a unique player in the league. There's not many players, maybe Kamara, that would really Eckler, Kamara, McCaffrey, they're kind of in a world of their own here. I mean, he's got almost 80 catches, and he's a really good runner. So you got to basically treat him as a receiver when he's out of the backfield. And clearly he's really dangerous with the ball in his hands. He's picked up what they ask him to do. They move him all over the formation. Identifying where he's at is a challenge. Who you put on him in coverage and the calls that you're able to run when he's in the game it may limit you a little bit, in terms of how many guys you ask to actually put him on, man-to-man and play him in coverage. So they got a lot of guys that are like that, unique skill sets. Kittle, Deebo Samuel, McCaffrey, Juszczyk. I mean, there's a lot of different players that they have that are really rare in terms of what they do, and he aligns them all over the place. And so identification, communication, and being able to play our assignment right is going to be a big thing for us on defense.
They have the #1 defense, #1 rushing, #1 scoring. I'm fascinated to see this offensive line battle because you have the #1 rusher in the league. Is that pride? Is that the ability? Your offensive line has got to be completely focused for this opportunity going up against this front.
Yeah, it's a great front. That's where their whole defense starts, is in the front. We know that. Our team knows that now. We've seen it now for a few days, and they play really hard. And so it's going to be important for us to strike first in terms of when we get off the football, we're going to have to make contact. We're going to have to keep our hands inside. They're extremely well coached. They do a great job with their fundamentals and technique, and they play extremely hard. And when they're gassed or tired, then they're going to come out and the next 4 are going to come in. And that group plays really well. So they got depth. They're almost always fresh. They got good rushers. They play the run well. So this is going to be a big challenge for us, and people have done it, but you got to do it the right way.
Well, Josh has tied Marcus Allen now. He's even with him at 1,500 yards. The rushing title is right in front of him, but I know you want to win games, but get him that award, that type of leadership that you see with him. How is he coming off Pittsburgh? That was a physical game in preparation for this one.
He feels good. Great mindset, great attitude, and I think he'd be the first one to tell you that he wants to win too. And all those other individual things hopefully will take care of themselves, but clearly we're going to need to run the football well and better than maybe we did in the Pittsburgh game, certainly, to keep ourselves in good down and distance situations so we avoid long yardage, which is where they really get you on defense. If you're in 3rd and long, it's really difficult to overcome it.
Last one, we've had Darren back with Hunter. What's the spacing, the route running look like with Devontae coming into this game with the new quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, you saw it yesterday, or last week rather. Hunter made an impact right away on 3rd down. Darren made some big plays in the passing game too. So I think the more that they're out there, I think you're going to see them kind of gelling, meshing together. And look, you can't double everybody, and so I think if they're going to try to pay more attention to Devontae, then that opens up some things inside for the other guys. And I have confidence that Jarrett can find the guy he's supposed to throw it to and get him the football.
Happy New Year. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you. You too.